Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Post Fight. And in this edition of Post Fight, I'll be doing Post Fight UFC 291 Poirier versus Gaethje 2. So Poirier versus Gaethje 2. How I did with this card is I went 8-3, 8 of 11. It was originally supposed to be 12 fights, but one fell off, or probably more than that fell off. But at the end of the day, it ended up being 11 fights. And of those 11 fights, I got 8 right, got 3 wrong. So pretty solid card, pretty solid card. And you can't say, oh, it's this bad or that bad. Because as far as the card, ain't no high confident fighters lose, no lock confident fighter loss. Was like, let me see. First one was a low confident. Other one was a low confident. And then the main event was average. So really the locks went in, the high confidence went in, and a lot of things actually went almost perfectly to my prediction. So real solid night. Real solid night, as I would say. So as far as things I was invested in, for the most part, for the large part, it was like nothing but net. So nothing but net. But yeah, so the theme of this video is always, let's focus on the L's so we can get better. So focus on the L's so we can get better. And with this one's not really like a whole lot you could get better with, because a lot of these fights are just intel, or I guess, and I know what I did as far as why I did it and why, sometimes you just gotta try to plan for the unexpected, and sometimes it don't go through, the unexpected don't go through, and that's okay. Sometimes you gotta try to plan for the unexpected if you feel you can. Like, you feel you up, try to go for a wild card, because sometimes wild card things do happen. Sometimes things go against the style matchup, goes against what's supposed to happen, because it's MMA. And at the end of the day, it's an unpredictable sport. So you try to gauge for the unexpected. That's really come with my first pick. My first L of the card was what's his name? Jake Matthews versus Darius Flowers. I picked Darius Flowers. I kind of saw some Jared Cannonier energy in him. Also trained at the MMA lab and whatnot. See a fighter with a lot of raw talent and whatnot, then go to the MMA lab and they could polish him and make him better. Clear it, close those gaps and make him a better fighter. And I definitely saw improvement, but ultimately it was not enough improvement. He's going with another young fighter in Jake Matthews, who had time to, patch himself up and become a better fighter at the highest level, and has been in UFC for a long time, still just under 30. So another young guy versus another young guy, but this other young guy has had time to patch up. And plus, also with Darius Flowers, he's looking in better shape. He's went from kind of looking like a chubby, middleweight, chubby short middleweight, to kind of like a toned short welterweight. I think his best weight class might be lightweight or even potentially featherweight. Well, featherweight might be a stretch. It's possible, but I feel like lightweight could possibly be for him. But I think at welterweight he's going to be too undersized, and also lack the skill. Then will not have enough skill to cover the fact that he's giving him so much size. Then go to lightweight, he probably going to be at a better size. Probably still some guys bigger than him. Probably a good number of guys bigger than him. But he won't be as dwarfed in there as he was in this fight. And probably with his strength advantage probably will come in there more. But then you kind of worry about technique. So it's he kind of in between a rock and a hard place, a rock and 2 hard places. Because at welterweight, don't really got enough skills to cover up the size gap. Then at a lightweight, he don't really have the technical skills to really thrive in this weight class. But at the end of the day, it's a fight game, and people, if you it's sink or swim. If he can get that good, he has to get that good. If he can't, then he can't. Am I closing the door on him and say oh, I'm never picking Darius Flowers again, or I'm just gonna go lock confidence whoever fighting Darius Flowers because he's a scrub? I'm not doing that. I still feel like he's kind of like a wild card still, and that's why I kind of went with him. I feel like he's a wild card. He's definitely one of those guys that you could see and is more to them than the paper, and even now still more to him than the paper. So I'm probably gonna most likely I'm probably gonna pick whoever he's fighting next. Probably 99.9% probably gonna pick whoever he's fighting next. Probably average confidence. Let's say he's throw him to the wolves. Let's just get this guy out of here. Oh, this number 5 guy just needs to get back on the winning streak. Give him Darius Flowers. And Darius Flowers is BMF enough to say, hey, I'll fight anyone anytime, and he accept that number 5 guy and let them use him as a jumping board. Well, I mean, he probably not gonna tend to let me use a jump board. He probably feel like I could be anyone. I just had this, blah blah blah. No, I saw the fighter in him. He's a good fighter. They did, not gonna say nothing. He got kicked low. It mostly hit the body, but some hit the guard. But I just feel like a little bit that was planned to get a breather, and he got hit good and took some time off. So I will say it, but yeah, not a great performance for Darius Flowers, but hey, he's improving. But just improving alone is not enough to say, oh, that was good. For people picking him and for him himself, he got to take that one hard and just get better. So take the L, come back, get better, use that as motivation to get better. And I don't also just think ultimately his best weight class is probably gonna be lightweight. What does this guy be doing? He just be talking, all of a sudden he starts saying blah blah blah. What's going on? I turn my back for a second. Like, if you're not watching, you got like you blind and you just listen to my videos. Like, what is going on? This guy just be talking, and then he just be making random sounds. He be getting tongue tied, and I don't know. But yeah, that's the first L. Ain't too mad at it, especially going on the fact that it was low confidence. It was like me just trying to flip a coin, no investment, just minor investment because it was like he was plus 200. So I was like, let me throw a little bit of change on that. He plus 200. Let me go with that. I didn't try to go for no method. I didn't try to go for no finish. But hey, let me talk about where I could learn a lesson, or where a potential lesson to learn for that one is. Jake Matthews is a young guy. He's still under 30. Even if he was 30, 31, 32 or something like that, he still has never really been chin too much. He hasn't really took a whole lot of damage where his chin has started to fade. He still got that young, youthful chin on him. So it really was relying on Flowers getting a decision victory. And do you think the less technical fighter is going to win a decision victory over the more technical fighter? Most likely not. So if you're thinking decision or something like that, or you can't really pinpoint this, or you can't really comfortably say, well, he has a very good chance of getting knockout, then that's probably a clear reason to not pick him. But again, wild card. It wasn't the smartest wild card, but hey, I went with it. No shame in that. But when those those type of picks and decisions start to mess up your card, and now you went from having a completely out of 8 of card, well, a 7 out of 10, and now you're getting a 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10 because you did too many of these little wild card picks you knew weren't the smartest. Then it come back. When you get 8 out of 11, like, it is what it is. But when it started turning your cards into terrible cards, that's when you gotta start shifting. So given the fact that it's only 3 L's, it wasn't that bad a decision, But I could have definitely picked better, is all I'm saying. And the evidence was clear enough there to not pick him, but wild card. And I'll say that again, wild card. So yeah, next one was Derek Lewis versus Marcos Rogerio de Lima. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. Derek Lewis versus Marcos Rogerio de Lima. And another low confident pick. I can never really be high confident in Marcos Rogerio de Lima, no matter who he's fighting, to be honest. Maybe George Parisian, I might be high confident. Maybe Chase Sherman. But other than that, like, I can't really be so confident in him, like, really with anyone. He dropped back like that. Blah, blah. He drops back down to like heavyweight. No. Heavyweight. No. Like, I could pick him, but I ain't gonna be high confident in him. I ain't gonna be average confident. Well, I might be average. Ain't gonna be high. Ain't gonna be lock. Maybe average. It'll be between average and low. And Derek Lewis is definitely another wild card fighter. He's one of the greatest wild card fighters in MMA history. Like, he could win fights he should lose. He could lose fights he should win. But ultimately, he wins a lot more than he loses when you look at his track record. He was a top-ranked heavyweight for a long time, and now he's back on a win. Don't know if he'll be at a streak, but hey, he still doesn't look like, he don't like Tony Ferguson, though. He look like he's still himself. He don't like a guy devoid of confidence, look delusional. He looked like the same guy, making the same jokes, same humor, same energy. So he's bouncing back, and I think he could definitely find himself back, where he was. I don't think he'll be no champion or nothing, obviously. I don't think he'll be no interim champion, but he could find himself probably back in another title eliminator potentially. But that's probably a fight or two away if he could win them. But good to see that his energy's still there, and he won. And yeah, I wasn't going to be super high on Marcos Rogerio de Lima because at times he had, matter of fact, I don't know even still, but definitely prior to recently, the guy was a one-round fighter. Had terrible cardio. Still ain't the most technical striker. His cardio is improving. His fight IQ is improving. His endurance improving. But still, he's kind of is the same fighter. He's a better version of the same fighter. And that type of fighter, I can never really be too confident. It's not like he's super technical in any aspect of the game. It's not like he's no cardio machine. It's not like he's no high work rate guy. It's not like he's a supreme fight IQ fighter. It's like nothing about him really says, oh my God, this says, oh, I'm a big bruiser who could swing some big hands at you and hope to knock you out or strangle you or something. If I beat the will out of you with my hands. So it's like, then going on with Derek Lewis, who's one of the heaviest hitters of all time and stuff, like, my confidence was going low. And I don't know, if anyone thought me picking Marcos Rogerio de Lima was a reason to go all in, even though I say low confidence, that's all on you. But yeah, I was not confident at all in this one. I just avoided this one at all. I predicted it, but as far as betting it, I was like, the moment I saw the fight, I was like, I ain't putting nothing in that. I don't care. Don't feel like putting nothing on Lewis, given how he's been looking. And Marcos Rogerio de Lima has never been a confident pick for me, or a guy I would say, oh, I'm gonna pick him and he's gonna pull through for me, or I'm gonna put this on him because I think he could win. I think he has a good shot to win. Nah, never that, and never will be. But good fighter. He's made some improvements and stuff, and he's changed his career around. Like, he's about to be a flop at light heavyweight. Then he came to heavyweight, turned his career around, and had some success. what is that? Some success. He had some success, and yeah, so good for him, and good for Derrick Lewis to knock off some of his steam and show that he's still alive in this heavyweight division and probably could stick around for a couple more years with this win. Win or lose, after this, he at least earned himself probably another contract, probably another 5-fight contract that probably could extend him like 2 more years. And I think he definitely could pick up some wins, even though he might go 500 or below 500. I think he could pick up some more wins. And yeah, good for Derrick Lewis. And yet another pick I ain't feeling too bad about because low confidence, especially when you're not investing in it. Who cares? But you could try to do that. But again, with Derrick Lewis is like the king of wild card fighters. So he's not the true king of it, but he's one of the top people in that. And it's kind of hard to try to break down a Derrick Lewis fight without this rambling and trying to solve a Rubik's Cube out there. Because, man, like I said, he don't even know what he's doing sometimes. And he just finds ways to win, finds ways to lose. So it's like, you can't sound too smart trying to predict him or predict against him or pick him. He's like, hey, it's a flip of the coin. I can kind of see this track record with him. Even with the Spivak fight. Prior to the Spivak, I can't say the name right. Prior to the Spivak fight, Derrick Lewis only had real issues with one wrestler, and that was Daniel Cormier, who's obviously one of the greatest of all time. But up to that point, he was had a very good record in the UFC against wrestlers, and even outside the UFC, he had a pretty good record against against wrestlers. So then the Spivak fight, that's why he lost to Spivak. Yeah, I got to start fading him because once he started losing to wrestlers who he'd been beating, he'd been beat Ivanov, beat not Conrad, what's that dude? But I don't know, it's been like 4 wrestlers he's beat. And now after that, it's been down 2 kind of wrestlers who beat him, Spivak and Cormier, as far as in the UFC. So his track record against wrestlers was pretty good. And yeah, I'm talking too much about this one. Either way, I just feel like Derrick Lewis could have won it. Derrick Lewis is undefeated in decision victories. I saw it could have been one of those sloppy fests like he did against Ivanov or Roy Nelson or what's his name? That former light heavyweight that was Gustafsson's best friend. I forget his name right now. Swedish. But anyway, wrestler where it's a close fight, but Derrick Lewis kind of rallies at the end and he might throw a little bit more shots, but he throws them at the right time and is able to edge a close fight. That's why I was thinking it could possibly go if Derrick Lewis does win. And Derrick Lewis is still, as far as in the UFC, undefeated in decision fights that go to decision. Derrick Lewis is undefeated. So the only way you beat Derrick Lewis is by finishing him. So I guess a good prop could have been in the distance because the only way Derrick Lewis loses is in the distance. But I also had a feeling like Derrick Lewis could win one of those close, ugly decisions, especially with a guy who fades like Rogerio de Lima, and also a guy like Rogerio de Lima who up until this point he hadn't really been TKO'd. It's been some submission losses here and there, but it hasn't really been TKO'd and he hasn't really been dropped like that. So his chin had been pretty sturdy. But again, Derrick Lewis is the hardest hitter, one of the hardest hitters in UFC history. So yeah, a lot of questionable variables going into that one, and that's always going to be there when you're dealing with fighters like Derrick Lewis. So again, I can't feel too bad about that one, even though I just talked probably most of this video about it. And now to the main event, we had Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje 2. And yeah, I thought it was kind of just like Poirier thought. I thought that it would kind of be like the first fight. I thought Gaethje had definitely improved, but I still thought it would kind of be that swing and bangs type of scrappy fight back and forth. But Gaethje went out there and fought a smart game plan. He didn't go out there just trading. He circled, he kicked the legs, and forced Poirier to kind of react, or had to kind of try to get the lick back, or he really made force Gaethje to play player B. Like he forced Poirier to play player B instead of it being time based or what a little RPG game where I attack, you attack. Now he said I'm gonna lead the dance and I'll make you have to respond to me and react to me. And ultimately, he was able to get big reactions out of him, make him lean, keep leaning to one side, and was able to catch him with a head kick, knock him out cold. So Gaethje for a very technical fight and was able to get the win. And Poirier was expecting the first fight. He probably expecting a better Gaethje for sure. And he trained for that. He trained for a blood and guts war. But Gaethje trained to tactically and technically break him down, and it was a big adjustment, and it paid big dividends and pretty quickly. And I feel like he won the first round pretty clear. And Poirier just didn't really know what to do in that time. I don't know. He didn't know what to do. He probably was so worried about the leg kicks, and he probably was anticipating something big coming up top, but just wasn't in the best position. Like Gaethje was able to get him to react big and made him pay big. So good win for Gaethje. I think he gets choked out by whoever is the champion. Oliveira was able to win somehow and get the belt. I think Gaethje gets tapped out again by him. I think if Makhachev fights him, I think he taps him out again. But good win for Gaethje, and I think he very likely earned him the next shot between the winner of Oliveira and Makhachev. So he put himself right back there, and I don't think he has to do anything else, given the fact that he already has accomplished so much in the sport. And also, it's not really many people right there that deserve to fight him for a number one contender spot. Like nobody does. Who's really available right now? It's like a 2,000 fighters at lightweight, but none of them deserve to get a title shot outside of Gaethje now. They might try to sneak McGregor in there, and maybe Gaethje might accept that because of money, and maybe he might be the sidestep Chandler and just fight Gaethje. And if he's able to beat Gaethje, he gets a title shot. If Gaethje able to beat him, he gets the title shot he already earned. But probably get some leprechaun money for it if he by beating him. But that'd be the one upside, and probably a couple more fans. Every time you beat McGregor, you get like 2 million fans. I mean, 2 million subscribers on YouTube, 2 million subscribers on Instagram and whatnot. So Gaethje could definitely use that. They already know who he is, but once he beat their dad, his popularity gonna explode, just like Poirier did, just like who am I saying, Nurmagomedov, just like Khabib Nurmagomedov did. Or I'm saying his full name, like Khabib did and whatnot. So that could be upside, and he maybe could turn that some money, and just like Poirier turned that popularity into hot sauce, maybe he could turn that into some lemonade. Who knows? But yeah, good win for Gaethje. He's definitely shown, even this late into his career, he's shown improvement and was able to get that vengeance back in a big way and look good doing it. Do I think that style is going to be great for Makhachev? I don't think so. And I don't think the approach he did for fighting Khabib was the smartest either. That might be good for a striker. You know, you go in there with a striker, you circle and stuff, you kind of take away their power. You circle away from that power and stuff. You could dance on the outside, kick their legs out. You could be tactical like that. With a guy that's kind of running at you, trying to take you down and get you going backwards, and not really a technical striker. This guy's like, all I'm doing trying to spam takedown. Like they looking like a deer in headlights at you, like Khabib. Like, hey, I can't strike to save my life. But I got one track mind. I'm gonna come in front of you. I'm gonna be all like this, chin up in the ears, and looking weird, waiting for you to throw a kick that I can catch and try to take you down or something. I'm gonna eat your kicks and eat your punches, be as best of a puncher back as I can just to get into that thing. I have one track mind. I know Makhachev is more technical than Khabib overall. I'm not saying particularly in the ground department, which he isn't, but in striking and overall, I think he's the more technical fighter, which can be a weakness in that case. And his chin not nearly as good, not at all as good as Khabib. But I think anytime you start moving, a guy getting like a wrestler gets you moving like that and able to make you wear yourself out by circling like that and doing that stuff, or able to get you going back, that's the issue. I think the thing is your strength by beating them is by getting them to go back, getting them to shoot poor takedowns. But when they get you going back, that's when they're at their best, because now they could throw their little 1-2 level change and scoop you off in dirty ground. Versus when you tag them up and then they trying to duck underneath a jab, their eyes getting bust up, nose getting bust up, rip them to the body, they going out, getting underhooks, turning them off, and like now they looking like real miserable out there, because like, oh, this guy's not doing this. He's not doing the script. Why is he not backing up for me? Even though I literally got no hands, I got pillow hands, I got elementary school hands. Why you not giving me my respect? Because you don't deserve respect. You ain't got no hands, no skills on the feet, really. Why am I running from you? I should be in there, stand right in your face, pump you in the mouth with the jab a little bit. You try level change. I fake that, make you look at that uppercut a little bit. You think the uppercut coming up top, rip you to the body, double the uppercut to the body, spin you off, pop you with the jab some more, but stand right in front of you, not giving no leverage to the space to wrestle. You try to go low, uppercut there, underhook there, spin, like it's no wrestling there for you to do. I'm not that person that's like, give me like, oh my God, it's wrestling, and show you how the big weakness that every aspect of the game got. You realize, but how to turn into a how to beat Khabib video or how to beat the Dagestani video. But anyway, yeah. But hey, if he can show he can make adjustments to beat Poirier, he could potentially come in with a better game plan. But I'm telling you right now, the whole circling thing is good to some extent, but that's the primary way you think to beat Makhachev or a guy that's looking to wrestle you. Is not the best path. And we don't know where his BJJ is looking like, which I feel could be a big factor. If his takedown defense is pretty solid, but as far as when he gets on the ground, that's the issue. If his grappling has improved, that's what I would like to see, because then I might be able to keep him within the fight. That will give him opportunities to, every fight starts on the feet, and again, presents opportunities. And then who knows, maybe he just goes looking for the home run hitter a lot of times at the beginning of these rounds, and then gets taken down. But maybe one round, the home run hitter actually is a home run hitter, catch him with an uppercut while he's level changing, knock him out, and now he's the undisputed UFC champion. But I wouldn't predict that, but hey, I didn't predict him to beat Poirier this time, and he won. So, hey, he's riding some good streak at least against me. So he proved me wrong 2 times back to back. You know, he proved me wrong against Fiziev, and now he proved me wrong against Poirier the second time. So, hey, he's on a 2-fight winning streak. Prove me wrong, and prove other people wrong. And now, what's one more? Third time the charm, and potentially could, and also would be his third. Yeah, his third time charm. It'd be his third time in a row prove me wrong. It'd be his third attempt at, well, third time prove me wrong. Third time proving everyone wrong because he was a dog that one, dog this one, and then he's definitely gonna be a dog in the title fight. So third time prove me wrong, third time proving the public wrong, and the third time getting a shot at the UFC title. So hey, maybe it's his magic moment. But congrats to Justin Gaethje, and also you could look, other fighters could look at him and say, I still could get better. If he could get better, I could get better, and I could. My time's not over, and I could still do this. But you like 50, 45, hang it up. You over, hang it up. But you in your 30s, 38, maybe you still got one chance at you. I'm not talking to Tony Ferguson. Like Tony Ferguson, hang it up. Nah, Tony Ferguson to be a coach or something, be a YouTube guru or something, take MMA guru's spot or whatever, and give predictions or whatnot or something, and make funny remarks and talk about tiramisu and talk about Dana White privilege and stuff, and I don't know, pursue a different career because, yeah, it's time to hang it up. And that's the video. And again, I went 8-3, 8 of 11, and that's the video. Thanks for watching. Peace.